Now on Nightside, a 2-year-old found dead in a hot car. The fire chief's message to prevent another tragedy.
And the strong thunderstorms have moved out of our area. I'll let you know if we have another round of storms on the way in your first alert forecast.
And an almost 8-hour standoff at the Department of Social and Health Services building. What we know about the suspect and why police say the large SWAT presence was necessary. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside.
Video taken today as we were experiencing thunderstorms. While we might have only seen rain here in Spokane, other parts of the inland northwest saw hail and even a landspout tornado forming near Wilbur. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. Because of these powerful storms, our team of weather experts declared today a weather alert day. Let's send it over to Emily Bloom in for Chris tonight in your First Alert Weather Center to see if we have any more storms on the way.
Well, the good news at this point is most of that active weather has moved out of the region. I know a lot of us experienced it throughout the evening hours tonight, and now taking a look at our radar, you can see nice and quiet conditions. If anything at all, just a few sprinkles up near the Canadian border. And that is a glimpse at what you can expect in the days ahead. As you are waking up tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, most of us are going to be in the upper 50s or actually, forgive me, this is their temperatures right now. Temperatures in the upper 50s and lower to mid 60s across the region. 65 in Spokane at the moment, 62 in both Grand Coulee and Ritzville, and 63 in the Sandpoint area. And temperatures are going to be cooling nicely as we head into the overnight hours. Our winds have died down significantly from where they were over the past couple of hours, putting us in a much better spot in terms of the fire spread and wildfires across the region. Our high this afternoon of 80 degrees, just 3 degrees below that seasonal average of 83 for this time of year. Now, our temperatures tonight. This is where you are going to be as you are waking up tomorrow morning. Not much different. Temps in the upper 50s and lower 60s across the region as you were starting your Tuesday. 53 for those of you in the St. Mary's area, 61 in Grand Coulee, and 50 will be the overnight low in the Colville area. Moving into your Tuesday, we're going to be warming up very nicely into the mid 50s by about lunch hour. And then we bring in a little bit of light cloud cover in the afternoon hours, and temperatures climb closer to our high for the day into the mid 80s by about 4, 5, 6 p.m. And then moving into our 4-day forecast, you can see temps climbing Wednesday. We'll keep it pretty moderate on Thursday, and then by Friday, temps into those lower 90s, setting the stage for what is going to be a very warm weekend. We'll talk more about all of this coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Emily. New on Nightside, Highway 2 is now reopened after a mudslide closed a section of the highway in both directions. It happened between Waterville and Coulee City. A 2-year-old from Rathdrum died in a hot car on Sunday. Idaho State Police believe the child was playing and ended up getting trapped in that car.
Fire officials say across the country it's the 11th time a child has died after being trapped or forgotten in a car this year. Chris Larson with Northern Lakes Fire Department tells 4 News Now that car temperatures can rise 20 degrees in just 10 minutes. On a 70-degree day, cars can get up to 115 degrees. Since 1990, there have been more than 1,000 children who have died of heat stroke within cars, whether they're accidentally left inside the car or went into the car on their own.
25% of the time, infants and children that succumb to heat stroke from being trapped in a vehicle like that happens from kids when the vehicle's left unlocked. They're playing, parents don't know where they went, they're playing hide and go seek, they go hide, or they get in the vehicle, accidentally lock the door.
Larson says parents should create a reminder to force them to check the back seat, like putting a diaper bag in the passenger seat, and afterwards be sure to lock your doors when you head inside.
We are continuing to track a fire burning in Grant County. This fire burning west of Quincy is about 2 hours away from Spokane. If you look at your screen now, level 3 evacuations are in place for Crescent Bar. That's the area circled in red. This is still developing. We will continue to update you on this fire as we learn more.
If you're planning on heading to Lake Roosevelt National Recreation Area this weekend, there are some fire restrictions you should know about. Starting on Friday, all open fires will be banned. That includes fire pits, charcoal fires, and propane campfires. And during this full fire ban, the only things that are allowed are self-contained propane or gas stoves and lanterns. For more on these restrictions, find this story on KXLY.com.
What you just heard were Spokane officers deploying a stun gun and taking the man responsible for an almost 8-hour standoff into custody. This started at around 7 a.m. just outside of the Department of Social and Health Services in West Spokane at the intersection of North Ash Street and Sharp Avenue. It closed down nearby roads for a majority of the day. According to police, 41-year-old Charleston Harper was reported trespassing on DSHS property, and when officers arrived, Harper pulled out a knife and threatened them with it, eventually barricading himself near the dumpsters. Police say he has an outstanding warrant for his arrest for failing to register as a sex offender and is a convicted felon. And according to police, the large and long response on their part was necessary to try and resolve things in a peaceful way and bring him into custody safely.
All the resources that we need to bring in to use less lethal force if we have to get this person into custody and to bring this to a peaceful resolution.
Harper has been charged with second-degree assault along with other charges. After a 2-day search, an escaped Montana murder suspect has been caught. 42-year-old Chadwick Shane Mobley was found in Plains, Montana, the same town he was in when he slipped his handcuffs and ankle shackles and ran.
Well, after months of waiting, the Major League Baseball All-Star festivities kicked off in Seattle tonight as the Emerald City hosts the Midsummer Classic for the second time ever. And the star attraction of the week, the Home Run Derby, as Seattle's Julio Rodriguez represented the Mariners. And you better believe J-Rod showed up in a big way. And how about a record way? He goes and hits 41 home runs in the first round. That is a record-setting number, hitting bomb after bomb into the Seattle sky. That number easily put him into the second round to face Vlad Guerrero Jr. Now, unfortunately for the M's young superstar, he just ran out of gas from there, falling just short of another finals appearance. And for the eventual champion Guerrero Jr., he joins his dad along with a championship in the Home Run Derby. Guerrero Sr. won the event way back in 2001. I'm not trying to age anyone here, but I'm old enough to remember that event. Now, the Mariners will be much more represented in the All-Star game. Luis Castillo will get the nod for the American League, and he'll be joined by fellow starter George Kirby, as well as Julio. Now, the skipper, Scott Service, is going to be the manager for the American League, too. Guys, send it back to you.
Thank you, Alex. Still ahead, a push to crack down on speeding in Spokane. The new plan in front of the city council coming up next on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses. See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
This is your summer to smile, to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and savor every bite. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Don't miss enjoying a moment with our on-site labs to help you fast and 20% off your denture care. So whether you need a new look or quick fix, you can celebrate with a smile all season, always at Aspen Dental. Book today.
Kootenai Humane Society is now Companions Animal Center. We invite you to our fundraising event at the exclusive Hagedon Gardens at Casco Bay. Enjoy a boat ride there and back, cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. Funds raised will go toward our new center for homeless animals.
When you're looking to upgrade the look and energy efficiency of your home, no one does a better job at a better price than McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime. At McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Oh, every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Your child's eyes are a crucial part of their learning. Get a clear picture of their eye health and vision changes from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Visit Shopko Optical to ensure your child is seeing and learning how they are supposed to.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU, here for good.
Starting this weekend, there will be a more efficient way to get around Spokane. The new black and purple electric buses that you see around town are part of the City Line fleet.
Well, the bus will route between Browns Addition and Spokane Community College, connecting through downtown and the University District.
Our fleet is a completely zero-emission battery electric buses, so we have 11 in the fleet. Our 60-foot articulated buses can hold up to 90 people, and they are completely battery electric.
The City Line bus will run every 15 minutes, 6 days a week. On Sundays, the bus will run with 30-minute frequency intervals. All City Line services are free until Labor Day. To find out more about this new bus route, click on this story on KXLY.com.
And we are going to get going with the 4 things that you need to know. We do have that active weather that has moved out. We have a warm up ahead of us, sunny skies on the horizon, and a hot weekend ahead of us. Temperatures right now in Coeur d'Alene at 59 degrees, that is. You can see that humidity at 90%. It is going to be muggy out there. And 65 currently in the Spokane area, again with that humidity at 63%. So take a look at our forecast radar. You can see some of that heavier cloud cover that we're under right now moving out. About 2 a.m. we could see some of this redevelopment of the isolated thunderstorms up near the Canadian border, pushing through Colville. It's not going to be anything like what we saw earlier, very isolated in nature and moving out. And then as we are waking up on Tuesday, clear blue skies for the majority of the region, with the exception of that heavier cloud cover lingering up near the Canadian border. And then moving through Tuesday, beautiful skies. Tonight, overnight low will be 57 degrees in Spokane with partly cloudy and mild conditions. Those winds coming out of the southwest about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Overnight temperatures across the region in the mid to upper 50s and some areas into the 60s. Overnight low of 61 for both Grand Coulee and Tri-Cities, and that's 62 for those of you in the Wenatchee area. Moving into your Tuesday, temps climbing into the upper 70s by about 1 p.m. just after lunch hour, and then getting into those lower to mid 80s in the afternoon as we have a little bit more cloud cover moving in. Temps all across the region, many areas into the 80s and a few areas into the 90s. 90 in Grand Coulee. 85 will be the high for those of you in Ritzville, and it is the same for those of us in downtown Spokane. 85 is where we will be by tomorrow afternoon with the hot weather and sunny skies. We're going to talk more about what you can expect for the remainder of your work week and this upcoming weekend in just a few minutes.
More speed cameras like this one on your screen could be coming to your neighborhood. Spokane already has 12 red light cameras and a handful of speed cameras around the city.
Well, the council is considering adding even more near schools and parks. Another potential location is in the hospital district near Multicare. One woman says she constantly sees cars flying down the hill.
I hate for somebody to get hurt right here. You know, it's because of the distracted driver or, you know, somebody that's not paying, you know, that's just kind of focused on what they're doing and not what's going on here at the hospital.
If approved, anyone caught speeding by these cameras will get a ticket in the mail. Council President Beggs says the goal is to have most of them up before September of next year.
And you're looking at the newly reopened East Trent Avenue Bridge. After more than 3 years of construction, this bridge is finally set to reopen. The bridge had its grand opening ribbon cutting today, and businesses in the University District say the bridge construction mixed with the pandemic caused them to lose a lot of customers. For more than 3 years, Trent and Hamilton to Columbus Street has been closed for construction. With the bridge set to fully reopen by tomorrow morning, neighbors are relieved to be done with detours.
It's put a lot of traffic on Mission, and we're looking forward to that easing up, and also just ease of getting out of the neighborhood to go to other places.
Originally, the bridge wasn't expected to be finished until toward the end of the year, but favorable weather and good water flow from the Spokane River allowed the project's contractor to speed up the process.
While one bridge is opening, another one is closing. The Rosamond Avenue Bridge in southwest Spokane is closed for bridge deck repairs. That bridge crosses over I-90 just west of the US 195 interchange. The bridge is expected to reopen after Labor Day. A detour on Lindecki Street is now in place.
Another construction project that you need to know about begins Wednesday on Highway 95. Crews will begin seal coating 37 miles of road beginning in Worley, Idaho. You can expect lane closures. Construction is expected to take about a month.
Hello and thanks. Later tonight on Nightline, what's behind a series of terrifying encounters with orcas? Are they playing or is it something more sinister? We went out to sea to look for answers. And the family of musical prodigies taking over social media. That's on Nightline. Back to you.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Since 1982, it's been our family's commitment to delight wine lovers with affordable Washington State award-winning wines. Our father-daughter winemaking team deliver a unique experience with every bottle.
Cheers. From the very beginning, we've been taught safety is very important. It's an act of love. When we're on the road, every action we take gets everyone to a safer place. Each of us can make a difference. Slow down. Ride sober. Get endorsed. Get training. Alone we are strong. Together we are stronger. And together we get there.
The story of a country line dancer who gave her pain the boot. This is Shelley.
Once I start dancing, I forget where I am.
So what was tripping her up?
Foot pain, knee pain, and back pain.
Then she got fitted for Good Feet arch supports.
It was magical. I knew, oh my gosh, this is what I need to stay on the dance floor.
And stay there, Shelley does.
That's my happy place. I'm not going to stop.
Step in for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Hey, Donnie, can you give me one reason to call the advocates?
Sorry, Ken, I can't.
I can. I mean, who fights like we do? You can't give me one reason?
Nope.
How about that we take on big insurance bullies? We're not afraid of any case. We're passionate and smart. Really? You can't come up with one reason?
I can't come up with one, Ken. Because there are 500 million.
All the money we've recovered for our clients. Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
Join us in celebrating 41 years of Latah Creek Winery. Don't miss your chance to taste Elena's fabulous food, sip Mike and Natalie's double gold winning Reserve Red Blend, and save with our special anniversary discounts.
Cheers.
4 News Now is brought to you by Perfection Tire.
Well, welcome back to Nightside. We are heading into a pretty nice night. All of the active weather has moved out of the region for the most part, and we are left with calm conditions and pretty nice temperatures. Most of us in those 60s at the moment. A few areas have already dropped into the upper 50s, 59 in Coeur d'Alene. 61 is where we're at in Colville, and 58 for those of you in the Pullman area. And temperature is going to cool a little bit more as we make it through the overnight hours. Our winds have died down significantly from what we saw earlier, putting us in a much better place in terms of the wildfires that are out there. Just between 0 and 5 miles an hour at the moment. Our high of 80 degrees, putting us a few degrees below that seasonal average of 83 for this time of year. Forecast radar is showing some of that heavier cloud cover that we're under right now is going to move out. At about 2 a.m., those of you in the Colville area could see some redevelopment of the thunderstorms from earlier. It's not going to be anything like what we did see earlier. Very isolated in nature and short-lived, and will move out. And then you will be under heavier cloud cover, those of you up near the Canadian border, for the first half of your Tuesday before we get into some sunny skies in the afternoon. Temperature trend is showing that we're above the seasonal average, or will be by tomorrow anyways, and then we're going to keep climbing from there up into the mid-90s by this weekend, putting us significantly above the seasonal average. So we've got this warm up here that is going to be ahead of us. Taking a look at our planning forecast, you can see those temps into the upper 60s and then into the lower 90s, mid-90s for this weekend with very light cloud cover, those overnight temps in the upper 50s and lower 60s. As we take a look at our extended outlook, this is July 18th through the 24th. You can see Spokane there right between average and a little bit warmer than usual. And then in terms of any kind of rainfall, looking to be right between average once again and maybe just a little bit drier than usual. So giving us a glimpse at what we can expect for the next couple of weeks. The 4 things to know in a nutshell: we've got that active weather that has moved out, the warm up ahead of us, sunny skies on the horizon, and then that hot weekend ahead.
That's just one of the hundreds of streets that have flooded in the Northeast tonight. While one part of the country is looking at record rainfall, others are reaching record high temperatures.
CNN's Emily Schmidt shows us where and how millions of people are experiencing this weather in extreme ways.
It's one thing to see flood risk on a map, quite another to see it for yourself. Floodwaters roaring through communities under washed out roads, coming dangerously close and threatening too many lives.
Look at the people's doors!
Vermont's governor says it's all hands on deck for rescues after 50 people were rescued across 6 counties by mid-afternoon Monday. Most of the rescues so far are from cars and from homes. That's where Richard Byers was when storms hit his Stony Brook, New York home Sunday.
Never had to be rescued before.
In the Southwest, the impact of these weather maps is all too real for more than 40 million people under heat alerts.
I would say there are lots of folks who aren't experienced with the heat, aren't acclimatized, don't understand what 110 means.
There are more heat-related calls for help, more worries of what's to come.
The fields are about as dry as it can possibly get. You know, everything around here hasn't had a drink of water for close to 2 months.
Climate scientists say these extremes come back to one thing: climate change.
It all comes together, if you will, in a perfect storm of consequences, which translates to truly devastating and deadly weather extremes that we're dealing with here right now.
For now, lifelines are literal, getting people out of danger, out of the kind of record-breaking weather few saw coming. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Julio Rodriguez put on quite the show in the home run derby tonight, hitting a record 41 home runs in the first round. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescenti shows us just how surprised he was by that feat.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
Welcome to Generation Gap.
Thursday.
What is Secretariat?
A secretary that's a woman?
Kelly Ripa hosts the comedy game show where nobody acts their age. Juniors and seniors work together to flex their pop culture knowledge for big prizes and bigger fun.
Who is this Mr.?
Mr. Rockstar?
Mr. T is going to be very upset with all of us.
New Generation Gap, Thursday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Summer days by the pool make for some of the best memories, but not every child gets the chance to swim in the sun.
This July, with help from Numerica Credit Union and the Spokane Parks Foundation, kids swim free on Fridays at City of Spokane Valley pools. Numerica Credit Union is excited to offer free swim Fridays with the Spokane Parks Foundation as they enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
Take a day off, skip Mondays, and be water-wise this summer.
Starting a new chapter can be the most thrilling thing in the world. There's an abundance of reasons to get started. How far we take an idea is a question of willpower. Because progress
is a matter of character.
Four News Now anchor team, not just in the newsroom, but in the community. We're doing the work, listening to you, asking questions, and getting the answers you need to help keep your family safe. It's what we mean when we say, expect more on 4 News Now.
Now, with so much on the line, more Americans are turning to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight than any other newscast across all of television.
Major League Baseball's Home Run Derby, easily the most fun all-star event in all of sports, and this year it was right in our backyard of Seattle as Julio Rodriguez was going for his first title in only his second appearance as a big leader. Well, in round one, Julio was facing off against two-time Home Run Derby champion Pete Alonso, and this one wasn't even close. Right out of the gates, Rodriguez came out smoking bomb after bomb after bomb. After the first 3 minutes, he had 32 homers, but still had 1 more minute to go. go, and you better believe he made the most of those 60 seconds. Count them, 41 in totals. That is a home run derby record for a round in front of his home crowd nonetheless, but he didn't even know the accomplishment that he had until it was all over.
Did I?
That right now is now when you're finding out?
Yeah.
How do you feel? You set a record for the most home runs in a single round in the Derby.
That's pretty good. I'll take it.
Now, the only problem with hitting 41 home runs is having to go out the next round and attempting to top that. And you could tell the fatigue was really starting to set in there as the young superstar finishes with 20 home runs in round 2. Pretty respectable there. Only problem is he was going up against another star, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who was absolutely smoking him out there, making it look easy. And he ends with 20 as well at the end of regulation. But a few seconds into that one, he ends it and breaks that tie, books his spot into the final round, and from there it was a casual 25 home runs for the Toronto Blue Jays first baseman as he was going for his first Derby title. But could Tampa Bay's Randy Arozarena spoil the party and bring home the first championship for the Rays? Well, it got close there at the end, and Randy was within 2 but simply runs out of time, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. wins the Derby as he joins the likes of his father, Vlad Guerrero Sr., who won it back in 2001. Now, this past weekend, the United States soccer forward Megan Rapinoe announced she will retire from the professional level at the end of the season. And with some stars on the national team really getting up there in age and the World Cup right around the corner, the question is, who's going to be leading the next generation? Well, the answer might be a familiar face. In yesterday's send-off match against Wales' former Washington State Cougar, Trinity Rodman came off the bench at the beginning of the second half and made the most of her opportunity. In the 76th minute, Sophia Smith with a nice cross to Rodman in the box, and she buries it from there. It's a 1-0 U.S. lead. But she wasn't done yet. A few minutes later, after winning the battle for the ball, she delivers an absolute strike from just outside the box, and there's nothing the goalie can do about that as she helps lift the United States to victory. And coming into the game, Rodman knew she was only going to get limited minutes, but I think it's safe to say we're going to see a lot of her in a couple weeks down in New Zealand and Australia.
I think it's really important. I mean, I don't know how many minutes I'm going to get, if I'm even going to see the field. So to get on and make a difference with the team that has worked so hard to get us to where we were in that game was awesome. At halftime, we had talked about how compact it was once we got into the 18. There wasn't a lot of space to take a lot of touches. We were working on combinations, and I think when we won that ball, we didn't want them to get out. So I think I just took the opportunity that I had, and for it to be a really good goal was awesome too.
Now, Rodman and Team USA will open up World Cup play on Friday, July 21st against Vietnam as the U.S. enters this tournament as heavy favorites once again. Now to some college baseball. A couple of local athletes are making the jump from the collegiate to the pro level. In the 7th round of the MLB draft, the Tampa Bay Rays selected Gonzaga pitcher Owen Wild. In 3 seasons at GU, Wild appeared in 33 games and struck out 191 batters. That led the WCC in that category this past season. He also earned all-conference honors in 2022 as he helped lead the Zags to a NCAA regional appearance. And former Washington State Cougar Jonah Advincula was also selected in the draft earlier today. He goes in the 8th round to the Cleveland Guardians. Advincula was named All Pac-12 honorable mention this past season after batting .350 with 33 RBIs, 5 home runs, and 70 hits. He also hit the most doubles in a season by a Cougar since 2006.
Alex, thank you. A new decade-long study now shows even just a little bit of exercise can cancel out depression symptoms. Researchers kept in touch with more than 4,000 adults in Ireland for 10 years. Every couple of years, they were asked about how much exercise they were doing and depression. The study found that people who worked out 20 minutes a day, I should say, 5 days a week, had a 16% rate that was lower for depression. Working out 2 hours a day reduced symptoms by 23%.
Well, Madonna says she's on the road to recovery and she hopes to be on for her rescheduled tour dates. She was set to play at Climate Pledge Arena next week, but it was postponed because when she was hospitalized with a serious bacterial infection. On Instagram, Madonna says she plans to kick off her celebration tour in October instead of this month.
It's one of the most popular drinks of the summer. Now lawmakers are concerned over the amount of caffeine found in Prime Energy drink and the effect it can have on kids and teens. Prime Energy drinks contain more than double the caffeine of a can of Red Bull and 6 times more caffeine than a can of Coca-Cola.
The amount of caffeine in these drinks can give children and teens headaches. It can give them jitters, nervousness. It can interfere with the sleep cycle, which is so important to the developing brain.
According to its website, the company does not recommend the energy drinks for anyone under the age of 18. Still, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is asking the FDA to investigate the product, claiming it's targeting kids through social media.
See it on their phones as they scroll, and then they actually have a need for it.
The company also sells a caffeine-free drink called Prime Hydration, but there are concerns the branding between the two products are too similar.
Well, speaking of Prime, Amazon Prime Day starts tomorrow. No relation there. Prime members will have 48 hours of exclusive access to millions of deals across categories, including Amazon inclusive items from top brands like Dyson, Theragun, and Frigidaire. Even if you're not a member, Amazon says you can still get the most out of Prime Day by starting a 30-day free trial.
30 years ago, the movie Benny and June was filmed here in Spokane. It's not the first movie filmed here, but it is one of the most beloved by Spokane locals and tourists. To celebrate the film's anniversary, local businesses and the film's local cast and crew are working together to create a citywide trip down memory lane. Ferguson's in the Garland district, where one of the movie's most iconic scenes was filmed, is serving up a Benny and June special. This weekend, the Garland will host 2 screenings of the beloved film, plus a Q&A with local cast and a screening of a short documentary about the film.
We're going to screen a little documentary that I'm trying to get done, got to get done this week, because we've spent an interesting time interviewing people from the experience 30 years ago. And hopefully, in the words of Aristotle's definition of art, it will delight and instruct.
Saturday's screening will be followed by Hamilton's, as well as a Q&A with local cast and crew. We'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Does your current roof have moss growing on it? Is it worn out or tattered? Have you recently seen the heat and electric bills going up? Then it may be time for you to get a new roof from McVeigh Brothers. McVeigh Brothers is the only 5-star certified select shingle master contractor in the Inland Northwest. We also have great financing options to help you out, like no money down and up to 12 years low interest financing. So you can get everything you want now and pay for it later. At McVeigh Brothers, we're always working for you.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
4 News Now anchor team, not just in the newsroom, but in the community. We're doing the work, listening to you, asking questions, and getting the answers you need to help keep your family safe. We're the friendly faces you see first thing in the morning and at the end of your day. We're the people you trust on your screens and in real life. And we'll always be there when you need us. It's what we mean when we say, expect more on 4 News Now. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Well, quiet conditions for the remainder of our night, with the exception of maybe some redevelopment up near the Canadian border. But then look at that nice stretch that we have ahead of us. Temperatures climbing through Friday and then Saturday and Sunday into the mid-90s. This is definitely the time to make sure that you are taking care of children, pets, the elderly, all of those who may need a little extra help and hydration as temperatures warm up.
That is a good reminder. It's also cool enough at night. You can open the windows, get the breeze going, cool the house down, which is nice. Yeah.